Go for sports. There we go. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, last Friday of February 27th here. I'm Sonja, of course, that's B, the production extraordinaire, and James JTrain Martin, and this is Prim and Proper Sports presents Friday with the Fellaz. How y'all doing tonight, guys?
Good.
Doing great. Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing
How you
amazing.
doing?
I'm doing amazing. Doing amazing. I'm saying doing amazing while I am prepping for midterms. So you know it's a state of mind. So glad to be joined by you gentlemen tonight. B, you look spiffy. I love the red and black hat. Looks like you're about to go to a concert or something once we wrap up. But
Yeah,
whatever it is, you look amazing, guy.
I just came back from my team members said to come to we went to Olive Garden. They had a few drinks and stuff like that by us. So,
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah.
okay, well you did. That's typical Friday behavior. James, how you doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh man. It's been a busy day. I mean, a week rather. And as you know, that weather was a bit of a struggle bus trying to get through that flooding on 285. But other than that, everything's been pretty good. I can't really complain. I mean, I'm blessed.
Yeah, bless is a good thing. What's up to Danny Fuller? And I'm glad I don't travel 285 literally hardly ever. I definitely wasn't out there today. Today was no class, so I've been in all day. And I can imagine the rain. You know, Atlanta just doesn't handle any type of weather other than sunshine well, to be honest. But speaking of sunshine, tonight's going to be a split show. You guys know this is the time of year that we are talking more so basketball. But before we let go of the tail end of the NFL, and we won't, let's be clear on that, we are talking NFL Combine. And I mean, really, really big production across the board. I know, James, you and B are definitely really big college fans, so you definitely kept your eyes glued to the set or the stats or whatever the news that came out about all of the performances. Big performances by cornerback Toriano Pride, 4.32 times seconds out of Missouri. This is the 40-yard dash I'm talking about, followed by Avril Reese, the edge, 448 out of Ohio State. Another Ohio State sensation was Sonny Styles at 446. Linebacker, very fast speed for that position, 446 as a linebacker. And then Caleb Abrams Orr out of TCU, 447, just a hair behind Sonny. And then following out the top performance of the 40-yard dash guys was David Bailey out of Texas Tech, 450. So a lot of fast guys, explosive guys. What were your thoughts on these gentlemen, and where do you think actually the best fits for teams could possibly be headed into the draft, or should I say their draft position as it comes up in the news here?
Go ahead, James.
Well, the star of the show last night was the beginning of the combine was Sonny Styles. I think he's a hot topic right now that everybody's talking about. Clearly, he was a good linebacker for Ohio State, but he really showed out. He showed up and showed out with having 4.46 in the 40, and for his height, 4.446 is fast, but it's not great, but it's excellent for somebody that's 6'4", 259, 49 pounds. and that can jump through a roof, jump with explosion because he had a 43.5 vertical. This dude played basketball and he was hopping out the gym. And so with someone with that much vertical, as a linebacker, he's got an explosion. He's playing from sideline to sideline. Teams are clamoring right now. And a lot of guys were just looking and oohing and ahhing and watching this guy. He had a long jump of 11 feet, I think 2 inches or something like that. So his measurables are incredible. But if you look at the tape at Ohio State, you can see he actually, he put all those things on display on the field as well. He's sort of undershadowed by Caleb Downs and Averill Reese, but he's all three of those guys, including on the offensive side and Carnell Tate. I expect all four of those guys to go in the top 10, if not the top 15. And that's crazy because that's just one team we're talking about that's going to have a really great draft for them. And, kudos to Ohio State. I'm not a huge fan of the team, but I am a fan of young men progressing into their careers in the NFL. And it looks like they're going to be stars at the next level. And so, and to answer your question in regards to Sonny Styles, where he's probably going to go, the Saints, I believe he had interviews with the Saints. I could see him going to the Giants as well. Cleveland doesn't need a linebacker in the middle. They got that Schlesinger in the middle, but they probably can still use somebody on their defense to help them out as well. I mean, even as good as that defense was, they probably still can use an added player like that to make them more dominant. Maybe Jacksonville as well too. But I was impressed with some of the numbers like that. But you try not to get too, like I know he's not a big fan of the combine. He thinks it's just like a dog and pony show, So, but I think there are some players that stand out and actually going to show up on Sundays, with their numbers. I mean, it's not like the guy that got drafted by Cincinnati last year that played for Texas A&M, that he showed up. He had a great RAS score, but he didn't do anything in college, and he still didn't do anything in Cincinnati. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, and shout out to Thong Like Lynn coming on as well. Thank you, Alina, for joining us as well and for the compliment. And thank you, Danny, for following up here with us. He kind of agrees with you, James, on that about the, how B looks at it, the dog and pony show. And but I don't know, B. I mean, it's kind of like if you have a team that's in need, even though, I mean, let's be clear, anything outside of the regular game of the NFL, including the preseason, is kind of like, okay, what are we doing? I mean, we already see this with the Pro Bowl, everything. But I don't want to remove the luster from the combine because it is our first opportunity to get a chance to view these college stars in an NFL atmosphere where they can put on their display. Now, yes, they're not scrimmaging against anyone, but the NFL is thinking of them to host all-out talent search. And with anything that you do in life, selected employers or performers or what have you, there has to be some type of auditions that have to be held, so to speak, because you don't want to draft someone that you're just going off of based on the stats of a piece of paper from what they did in college, and then you have not seen anything. It's like purchasing something online with no image. You don't know what you're going to get.
And I would be remiss to not remind our co-host here that he had a guy for 10 years that shined at the combine and that played for Georgia Tech that wasn't, you didn't really, you knew he was good, but you didn't know he was that darn good until he shined at the combine and had an illustrious career that went to the Hall of Fame in Calvin Johnson. Come on, sir.
One guy. Okay.
I know. Matthew Stafford did the same thing. Matthew Stafford did the same thing.
These are guys they were going in the top 10 anyway.
That's what
the combine is a meat. The combine is a meat market show. That's what it is. And to Sonja's point, no, Sonja, they don't go by stats. That's what they have scouts. Scouts go to these games and they watch these players play. If you haven't, that's how you get game information on these players. I don't care how fast you go. Your game speed is not going to be that fast every game. It's not. It's just not. Combines, the speed in the thing in the combine, the 40 time in the combine is like, that's just a flash to show you. That's all that is. That's all this stuff is. It's just stuff you're not seeing them in competition. So you can't make a judgment based off them jumping 7 to 8 feet high. Okay. All right. Big deal. But the scouts go out there. That's what their job is to do. They go out during the college seasons, and they look at these players in a game time performance, and then they make their assumptions from that. Combine is just to put sugar on top of anything. If anybody is having a hard time dealing with, if a scout's not exactly on his P's and Q's, he's just using something for an effort. Combines have always been like that to me. I'm sorry. That's just me. I know y'all got your opinions.
I can see that on some players, but I have to disagree with you to some extent. Nick Eamon is a prime example who boosted his draft stock from you didn't know. Most people didn't know who he was in South Carolina, but he showed out when he got to the combine, and look what he did for him. Didn't he end up winning Defensive Player of the Year? I mean, defensive rookie of the year,
probably,
and he won a Super Bowl too. I mean, he was a big proponent, a big part of that, or the reason why that defense was good. So I mean, it's not just. I get what you're saying. There's some bust in there, but there are some great guys that you don't see, that everybody doesn't get to really see.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying the combines are just an overhyped bubble that you put on these players to see it, because there's the normal crowds don't watch college football like some of us do. A lot of them are not scouts, so they're going to be put on display like a horse and pony show, like I said before, because this is how you see the players and when they're the draft players. That's why they call the top draft prospects to go to the combine. So they can see that. How many draft?
So you're saying that this should be sold to the scouts? The scouts should just be able to look and that's it?
Well, that's what it was before. Now it's become, I think, the last decade or so, a spectacle for everybody to see because the NFL makes money. But with that regard, I just think that we're getting to see what scouts have been seeing. And then again, I don't care how many good scouts are out there. There's some things that they miss that the combine will show. And I mean, if you like analytics, there are AF scores out there that are going to show you some metrics of players that you can't really see on the field that you get to see. And guys will select players just because of their metrics. Now, do they miss? Yes, they miss. But do they succeed with some of these players just based off of that? Yes. So it's not an exact science, but it does work. It does show some aspects of it. It's not just I said dog and pony, but it's not just a horse and pony like you said, B, to where you are able to see some things that players on display. I mean, it's this and the pro day. You have the pro day as well. So again, I agree with Sonja. You have to audition. It's just exactly what that is. It's an audition. It's just been glamorized a little bit more because it's shown internationally now. It's shown to the public. That's it. But again, we can agree to disagree.
They are auditioning for people who do not follow college football like the scouts do. That's what they're auditioning for. The people that are normal fans out there, that's why they ask the top draft picks to come in to do the combine so they can be on that stage. That's the reason why they do that. Don't get that.
Well, my question to you is why are coaches and scouts sitting there with papers and pens? Or just for fakeness? I mean, what are they doing? They're there to take notes as well. It's not just that. Yeah.
It's just, like I said, it's a horse and pony show. I'm just saying. They go there just to hell. AG was sleeping there, so it is what it is. It's something that they, the coaches could go down there and the scouts could go down there and say, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, I think I
and
like.
And there are legit interviews there too. There are legit interviews there too.
Well, that's basically what they're doing is interviewing. They're not really. I mean, the interviews are one thing. Those are two different types of things in the combine. You interview and you get to talk to people, not see what they do. That's the whole point with the interviews.
Sorry, B. I gotta respectfully disagree with you on that, and Danny too.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I mean, even still, we're still gonna run through some of this other combine news because to some fans it is, and to a fan like me, I'll weigh in on this. I don't keep my eyes glued to every single game out there. Some of these players I have never heard of. I'm going to be honest with you. The only way I would know who they are is the combine features these names out of these schools that I'm not following. It's impossible for every person, even the sports enthusiast, to follow every single thing. It would have to be a very star athlete to come up and to be somebody. And Danny, you said, yeah, I'm on the same page with you. I'm usually with James, but not in this case. And just watch 5 years from now, the combine will be nothing. That's fine, Danny. Like I said, I'm on the side with James at this point, because if not, I would not know. And there's a lot of fans out there that there's so many games, there's so many college teams. It's impossible unless you're like one of these reporters that's what you get paid to do on a regular basis. You're not following every single player. There could be talent that comes in that no one really necessarily knew about it, but for the combine, because this person may be a B squad person with their team, but then by the time the combine rolls around, oh, guess what? We got James Martin coming. I knew he did a couple of reps, but we never saw him in action. Wow, okay, here we go. Get him a team, sign him a team, let's work him out. And James, before, because I saw you had your hand up.
I'm saying. That comment.
Coaches scouts are sitting there with papers and seeing 4% of players that they knew nothing about. But that's my point. They knew nothing about until now. You're making my point for me, Danny.
No, it's 4%.
And also Danny.
You're acting like
Danny
it's like
and
half of the players coming in there. It's not. It's a very minimal amount of players coming in there.
There are a lot of players in schools that do not get any recognition whatsoever. And I'll give you one in particular, Toledo, with Quinyon Mitchell, the man that's like balling out in Philadelphia. Nobody knew about Quinyon Mitchell until the draft, until the combine. Nobody knew about him at all.
Yeah,
he's better than all right, sir. He is. He's better than all right. He's all pro. He's first team all pro. Yeah, no, you don't get to be all right with first team all pro. And he came out of Toledo, so that's my example right there. And he wasn't recognized until he got to the combine.
I wouldn't say that.
By maybe scouts, but I mean, it really
not that good.
But it was.
You don't win all pro in your first year. Well, you win your all pro. What is it, the second year now? You don't win all pro in your second year because you're Dutz and you had to be discovered in the combine. They look at Toledo. They look at they make the MAC schools too. Don't get that twisted. Scouts.
No, I'm saying, but Toledo.
There's so many
Toledo does not get
that are.
You tell. But scouts see that. Yes, scouts see it. Right. Scouts got to run it by their coaches. They got to run it by their GMs.
You got good scouts. You will know who you got as good scouts when you get those players.
Yes, but nobody's drafting the guy until you see the measurables up and close and personal. I'm telling you, you're not going to draft somebody.
Okay, and guys. Okay, and guys, with that, let's. Okay, and guys, and definitely respect both opinions there. Let's move on. Before we get to the second part of this is Friday with the Fellas, y'all. I'm just here to actually referee. I love these guys. These are my brothers. They are very dynamic and sports enthusiasts. So welcome in. Let me welcome in some new subscribers. I got to give a big shout out to this subscriber, this follower who is likely watching the South Fulton Police Department. If you guys don't know who they are trending right now because they have gotten a lot of views on social media for mixing in community engagement with comedy. So they just made People Magazine this week. They were also in the New York Times. And I'm proud to say I live in South Fulton. It's a suburb of Atlanta. It's actually Atlanta for real. Like you go one light. My house is Atlanta. One street over is South Fulton. I'm proud of those men and women. And I really am super I'm excited. They give a lot of entertainment, so check out their page. Also want to give a shout out to Kimberly and May over at Awesome Nails. Thank you so much for that. I told them I'll give a shout out Sherjetta, who works for Milk Cosmetics. I'm wearing one of her specialties tonight, as well as Imani, who's going to be a future guest on a new show I have coming up, into women entrepreneurship. So welcome to all of you. Thank you for supporting the channel. And let's keep this thing going. Now, James, we already know how B feels about talent, but let me ask you specifically about one of your LSU stars, none other than linebacker Harold Perkins Jr., who was like quoted by Yahoo Sports as saying, if the Saints don't get me, I'm no longer a Saints fan. And he's been one of the most discussed defensive prospects of this combine and of the coming up for the draft. And so today they don't have his numbers finalized as of yet for the 40-yard dash, but 6'1", 222 pounds, arm length 31/3/8, and then hand size 8'1", 8. He wants the Saints to come grab him. Now, this is the thing about him. He currently holds an estimated athleticism score of 74, which ranks him second among all linebackers at the combine. Scouts have actually looked at him. His closing in speed, he's really good with that, and gap shooting disruptor, he's really good with that as well. He has those traits. Though some have concerns about him, saying that his size, when matched up against other NFL caliber offensive linemen, just doesn't align. What are your thoughts about him saying if y'all don't get him, because you're the Saints fan here and you're an LSU fan? What are your thoughts about if you guys don't get him? Are you missing out, or just overall, what do you think about Mr. Perkins?
Well, he's an enigma because he was a true freshman at one point, and he had a really great freshman season. They knew how to use him when he was under Brian Kelly. Defensively, he was like a joker. He played middle linebacker. I mean, he played on small weak side linebacker, and they would use him on like third down, third and long, where he could go get the quarterback. But then second year, he was a bit of a dud, and he came back. He got hurt, and right now he's projected to be a late second day and maybe an early third day pick. You look at him, he's slightly undersized at 221. He's 6'1". He's very fast, but he's a little bit of a liability in coverage. So he's more of a box player. So he's probably really good around the line of scrimmage. I think that, him, I was able to see visually and his facial expressions when he was being questioned about the Saints. And so I think he was a little bit tongue in cheek when he said it about the Saints. I mean, because everybody was laughing. But at the same time, he did have a formal interview with the New Orleans Saints. And so that tells me right there's interest, but I'm pretty sure it's probably more in the fourth or fifth round, somewhere around there. And so I think that he underwhelmed a little bit at LSU. He was a 5-star linebacker coming out of high school, and now he's not ranked high enough. And then I don't think he performed at the combine at all. He just went through interviews and questions. And so he'll probably wait till his pro day to do anything. And so hopefully he does well. Hopefully he has a fast 40 time, and he's able to do it, the shuttle cones and everything else that comes with that. But again, I still see him as a late second or early third day draft pick. And we'll go from there. And if the Saints don't pick him and he's not a Saints fan, oh well.
B, I know you're not following too much, but is there a specific player Detroit has their eye on, as you know of?
Well, we're looking at the linebacker, Jacob Rodriguez. He was one of the first people they looked at. They've been looking at him. Actually, this isn't the first time his name has come up, but he even before the combine, they were looking at him. He's a very good player out of Texas Tech. And we need a linebacker because we probably will lose Alex Anzalone to free agency because he's just getting old, basically. He's not the player. I mean, he was a decent player. He probably hit his stride when he was here, and he played pretty well when he was in New Orleans too. You got that James, you remember him on your team. He hit a stride when he was here, but he kind of fell off. He's not the dynamic linebacker. He's not a dynamic linebacker. He does a few things. They say he's a pretty good coverage linebacker. For the Lions, there's nobody that's a good coverage linebacker on the Lions, so I can't really say he's the best one. But yeah, instead of paying, what they really should have done is not pay Derek Barnes the money they paid him. They should have just paid Anzalone that. They're still going to draft a linebacker, but this is a little bit different now that they did what they did. So we'll see what happens. But that was the guy that they've been talking about pretty much, besides the offensive lineman that they have to get. Hey, Yoli.
Okay, what's up, Yoli? Green Bay in the house. All right, let's talk about a few more stats for that before we get ready to spin off our second half. The vertical jump, James mentioned earlier, Sonny Styles, linebacker, led the pack with a massive 43.5-inch leap. That is huge. The broad jump went to Toriano Pride, the cornerback out of Missouri, reinforced his athleticism with a 10.8 jump. And the 10-yard split actually went to Sonny Styles and Nnamdi Obiozor from TCU. Both clocked a blistering 1.56 seconds, showcasing elite get-off speed for their size. And the short shuttle went to Trey Moore, the edge out of Texas, posted the best time amongst defensive linemen at 4:43 seconds. Now, the pro highlight so far has been Toriano Pride's 4:32-second 40-yard dash. Is tied for the 14th fastest time ever recorded by a cornerback at the combine since 2003.
Well, let's give a shout out to the. Yeah, there you go. Let's give a shout out to the safety. The brother of Sonny Styles, Lorenzo Styles, he ran a 2.27.
Yes.
A 4.27,
which is wild
4 points
for a safety. But to Danny and Brian's point, this is the guy that ran a fast 40, but he's probably not going to be a practice squad guy. He's not that good as a football player. So, but he's very fast though.
Wow. So I don't know, what do you do when you're fast, but you don't have any of the other things? Speed doesn't always equate NFL talent, unfortunately. So, all right, guys, I guess we'll get ready to wrap that segment up. We're going to take a small break here, and we'll be back, and we'll be kicking it off with NBA news when myself, James, and BA return. We'll be right back.
Here.
The God above made you a masterpiece. The vision is clearer, nearer. My God to thee, learning to lean on his power. Your perspective can be sweet when circumstances are sour. I'm saying. Can't see the vision clearer. Your identity is waiting, and you feel that hope is fading. Just hold on, it's gonna be alright. Trust in God, stand firm and hold tight. It's like that, yeah. It's like that, yeah. Meditation, I'm searching for a peace that's not present. I'm searching for feelings of solitude, emotions that's pleasant. Treasure, what do you deem important versus essential? We put our heart and soul in every line behind instrumentals. Coincidental? I think not. God's plan from the very beginning. Create the type of music that make people think twice before sinning. Pleading, Holy Father, please forgive my trespasses. Confusing things we want for things we need in life, our must-haves. Selfish, inconsiderate, narcissistic people. Christ died for all the world, so there is power in Jesus. Issues happen, disagreements, dissensions, distortions. This fallen flesh, we still forget sometimes that God is our portion. Forcing, others won't cut it, nor manipulation. One thing that's very destructive is self-righteous behavior. Satan, he's crafty, throwing darts like Bailey's.
All right, and we are back with the second half of Prim and Proper Sports. I'm Sonja, joined by James Martin and BA. Thank you so much for all the likes, loves, and shares. And of course, this is my final Friday of my birthday month. So thank you, everybody. I'm still reading messages. I know every week y'all probably like, when is she going to be finished? I had over 700. And so I think next year, this time, I'm going to do what I did last year. And that's just do one big post and lock the page so everybody can post under there, because I like to, individually thank people as they post it in addition to actually giving a group appreciation. And it's just kind of difficult to do it with school and whatnot. But I do want to let you know I am going to be trying to wrap it up here soon, before March 4th at least. That will be 30 days. So thank you guys so much for all of that. And we're kicking off into our NBA mode. And then in March, we have another birthday. None other than our co-host extraordinaire here, Mr. James JTrain Martin. Woohoo! James right behind me. We'll be celebrating him soon. All right.
Yes.
So NBA news. Go ahead, James.
No, I'll just say yes as I march on to the pastures, greener pastures of 51. For those of you who don't know, I'll be 51.
Yeah, he's
Such a young
my little
man.
brother. He's a little brother. He's literally like 6 weeks younger than me, literally. All right, so NBA news, and I hope you celebrate the whole month, James. You deserve it. Con guys, I'm repping my Charlotte Hornets tonight. Yes, I always rep the Carolina teams. I do like the Hawks as well. Let me put it out there for anybody that might be like, oh shit, nope. I like the Hornets and the Hawks. Right now, the Hornets are doing absolutely amazing. Started the show showing you guys, Lawson and I have jerseys. I actually have Con's number, Con Canuple, on the back of me tonight. He has a historic rookie campaign going here. Like, he is amazing. Charlotte Hornets rookie Con Canuple has officially cemented himself as the greatest rookie shooter in NBA history. This is, of course, by Sports Illustrated. And ESPN reached a milestone on Thursday night that has reshaped the Rookie of the Year race. 133-109 win over the Indiana Pacers on yesterday. He hit his 207th three-pointer of the season. That makes a new record where he has surpassed Keegan Murray's previous rookie record of 206, which was established in the 22-23 season, with 23 games still remaining in the season. Earlier this week, he also became the fastest player in NBA history, rookie or veteran, to reach 200 made threes, doing so in just 58 games. Now, for his percentages overall, the fourth pick out of Duke, of course, transformed the Hornets offense into a top 10 unit. Everybody's been following us now. We got fans everywhere now, like, oh, whoa, it's the Hornets. They win in 3, they win in 5, they win in 10. 1, you get a win, you get a win, you get a win. PPG, points per game, 19.4 from Mr. Canuple. RPGs, 5.4. APGs, 3.5. Shooting splits, 49% from field goal range, 44% 3-point, and 89% on free throws. He is now currently ranked as a leader in the entire NBA in total 3 points made. As we said earlier, with the 209 leading stars, Ike, Donovan Mitchell, and Tyrese Maxey. So congratulations to him. He's efficient, unprecedented for a first-year player, specifically considering he's currently the primary spacing engine for the Charlotte Hornets right now, and he's been the best net raising in the NBA with plus 10.5 since January 1st. So congratulations to Con Canuple. Congratulations to the city of Charlotte. Right now, we're looking really bright. Let us continue on.
Yeah, I guess the best thing that Michael Jordan could have done was sell the team. Who knew?
Right.
To allow this team to actually succeed. So, I mean, the greatest basketball player ever in the history of the game was not a good owner, nor GM. So, or president, whatever he wanted to call himself. But hey, mad
Wow.
respect to Michael
Any
Jordan, the
title.
player.
Yeah, the
He just
player.
wasn't good at
But
that.
management,
Not so good. But I mean, Knuppel, 58 games is impressive. So that's bright for the future of the Charlotte Hornets. And of course, you have LaMelo Ball there. So it's
absolutely.
man, if he can stay healthy on and off the field, yeah. But I think you guys have a bright future ahead of you. So add a couple more pieces onto that team. They're going to be the East is not the least, but they're not the greatest. Like they're not the best like the West. And so I would say that if you just add a few more pieces onto that team, they might be competing for NBA, Eastern Conference Finals type of thing. That they seem pretty decent. I mean, I'm not trying to push you out there just yet. You still got to do a few
No, I
things
know.
to add to the team. But that being said, they're competitive right now. They could be even more competitive with a little bit of help. But congrats. That's awesome.
It's so funny you say that. I have to plug in because I didn't think about it until now. Like we see this with NBA and NFL teams, almost similar. Like the small improvement that makes them formidable and competitive. I mean, we saw my Panthers. I mean, yes, the South is what it is, but the Panthers still got to the playoffs. They were still the NFC South champions this season. And so now we see the Charlotte Hornets following suit, being competitive, being mature, being what we need. And then if you think about it, Atlanta's in the same division. Trae Young, I just still cannot believe he's no longer a Hawk. But they did an emotional tribute for him this week. He literally looked teary-eyed. He came back to Atlanta for the first time since he's been traded. But, it usually every season, and I've gone to two of the games, where it's Atlanta and Charlotte that are playing each other to win to stay in during that win and stay in period. And it's usually Atlanta that moves on and Charlotte goes home. But then Atlanta's, removed the next series. It doesn't take long for them to go home as well. I mean, Detroit's looking great. Let's go ahead and push it there. We're seeing the Pistons come back. I don't want to say they're bad boys just yet, but they're not good anymore. They're almost the bad boys. They're misbehaving a little bit. So a lot of teams that we haven't seen in years are coming back front and center. And it's kind of like what we talked about a few weeks ago during the playoffs. The NFL, it was like, okay, it's just a changing of the guards. And it was the same with college. The college football championships, changing of the guards. No big teams were there. These were all new teams coming in. And so are we looking at just a shift in the spirit of athletics across the board, or do you think it's too early to say that? And let's talk about your Pistons as well.
Well, the shift is because of the NIL. So you're going to have players go to all kinds of, it's more parity now. I know that's something that Keith Ingle does not like to hear is parity, but that's what it is. Because everybody can go anywhere they want to go. So the money talks, it walks. Anyway, as far as the Pistons are concerned, these 6 games, this next 2 weeks. Well, it's next week, actually, because they've already went through most of their week, is going to be very detrimental. See how they can do against the West. Now, they didn't do a very good job against San Antonio. They couldn't hit anything. They couldn't hit a wall with shooting that game.
Wow.
San Antonio played very well, though. They threw all that defense they possibly could at San Antonio, and San Antonio played really well. Then they went to OKC came there, and OKC lost, but they didn't have half of their squad. So now they're playing Cleveland, and they're losing by 5 points to Cleveland right now in the fourth quarter. Cleveland always gives them a hard time.
Yep.
Cleveland always gives them
a hard time. It's the end of the game, too. 5 minutes left. 100 to 95. Last 5 minutes.
It's 103 to 95.
They can still come back.
But anyway, and then they got to go. And now on the flip side, this coming up week, they're going to have to go to these other teams. They're going to go to OKC. They're going to go to San Antonio. They're going to go to Cleveland. and play these games. So we get to see what happens on the flip side. You know, they got the home field advantage first. Right now they're 1-1, and it's like a shady 1-1 because, like I said, OKC didn't have all their starters on there. When you don't have Shea Butter on there, that's a difference right there. You know, so I want to see how they do against them. I don't think they're up to that. I don't think even if they get to the championship, which is okay, but they're just not on the level. And like James said, they're not on the level of what the West is. So the West is just whoever comes out the West is winning the championship. It doesn't make a difference to me. The East doesn't got enough. It doesn't got enough talent in our conference to take on anybody in the West in the 7-game series. This is not going to happen. You know, we saw the Pacers last year. You know, but that was against a second year young team in OKC, and I would imagine that OKC's got a lot on their belt now. They can handle everything, and they're handling these injuries pretty well too, and they're still winning. They're still taking. I mean, San Antonio was a force. Let's not be. You know, they've lost. They've won 4 of the 5 games they played against them. So San Antonio, got to watch them too. They're a good team, really good team. Houston, let's not forget about them. It's like there's so many good West teams, and not enough good East teams. You could probably count the best West East teams on your hand because there's only about 5 of them that are really good that could challenge for Eastern Conference final. But
that's exactly what I said. The West, like we saw it even with the NFL, the West was the best. Like it's the same sentiment. That's what I'm telling you. We're seeing that same thing. I mean, James, I saw your facial expression when I gave props to my Panthers. So sorry you guys weren't there. You tried to stop us, but you didn't. But the Panthers were competitive, and the East was not the East was the least in the NFL because the West had the best. But you know, we saw teams that had not been there before. And we will be back next season. So get ready to have your face like that on permanent, my brother.
Gotta stop you.
Yeah.
We swept y'all.
Don't bang on so hard.
And you limped in. You did a Michael Jackson.
But we're running next season. Yeah.
No. You did a thriller. You did a thriller limp in. You did a zombie limp in.
We were there.
Y'all had a stanky leg going on into the playoffs. All right. Now.
Yeah. But we were there. But we were there.
But it wasn't because of us. It wasn't because of us.
And y'all was at home. So both of you guys
it wasn't because of us.
Yeah,
so
y'all tried. That's what I'm saying. You tried.
I'm saying we swept,
but you couldn't.
We did stop y'all. We did stop y'all twice.
Yep. No, I'm saying you didn't stop us from getting the South. You didn't do that. That's my point.
Yeah. The reason why we did stop y'all.
We had our insurance plan already with Atlanta, and they handled their business.
Yeah, that's what got you in. You had to depend on another team to get into the playoffs.
Our insurance plan.
Hey, sometimes
I don't like insurance plan.
We didn't depend. That's what anybody would say that didn't get in. We don't care. We're there. You guys weren't. You won't be there next year. We won't need nobody helping next year. How about that? We'll see next year when we have this conversation. We won't need no apparatuses to get in next year.
Let's mark this date. It's February 27, 2026. We're gonna mark this day. We'll come back to it.
227, one of my favorite shows I grew up on. 227. Mark it down, my brother. Yeah, y'all, but this is how we do. We're just all fun. But James is right. And just to put a pin in that. But I like to think of it like we had insurance plans out there that we were able to capitalize on with Atlanta. So for a tiny bit, and everybody could probably say I was wearing red and black and everything that day. So that's a wrap. All right, thank you, Danny. And we know that you will win 7. Brother, get yourself out of here. 7 games. 7. Do you hear yourself? We won more than 7 this season. Get out of here with that, Danny. So I guess it's a little early. Of course, Cavaliers game still ongoing. Nets and Celtics are playing. That's another close game. Well, it's not. 132-91. My bad, guys. Celtics are all over the Nets. I mean, they may as well pack it up now. The Knicks and the Bucks.
It's the Nets.
That game is a wrap too. Knicks 90. Like I think Danny was saying earlier, they did Tom Thibodeau wrong. They did because look, they're still like really thriving. Grizzlies and Mavericks, another 20-point blowout. Like these games are not even competitive at the moment. And then the Nuggets and Thunder game is starting here shortly. So I don't know, guys. It's one of the times, and then we got to get ready for March Madness for college basketball. Congratulations to the Duke Lady Blue Devils who secured their championship. Congratulations to South Carolina, Dawn Staley once again champions, and they are advancing and going into the playoffs. We're gonna have a lot of March Madness to talk about here soon. Are you guys, y'all? What's LSU and Michigan looking like? Are y'all there? I'm sorry, I honestly don't know, guys.
Oh, let me take this
year
because I am surprised.
Well, let me say, this year we are LSU, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and UCLA. Yep.
Well, in the men's,
what were you saying?
I'm surprised you didn't say anything because Duke and Michigan had a game earlier this week.
I hadn't gotten there yet. I hadn't gotten there yet.
So the Michigan
and
the Michigan women's team is not bad either. They're doing pretty good. They've kind of slipped a little bit. I think they're still in the top 10, but they're up there. And Michigan State is doing pretty well too. Both Michigan and Michigan State are doing pretty good as far as college basketball is concerned.
Yep, Selection Sunday is coming up here. We're about 15, 16 days away from that. That's going to be here super quick. And that number one seed, like B said, is really close. First four is going to be March 17th and 18th in Dayton, Ohio, followed by the first round, March 19th and 20th. Final four, April 4th. And then the championship game has been set for April the 6th. Duke is 26-2, the men's basketball team right now. Currently number one overall seed in the AP poll and most brackets. Get ready for me to start wearing my Duke stuff heavy up on here. And they do face a massive test again tomorrow against Virginia. They have to keep the same caliber because, you know, when you're at the top, you got to continue to stay at the top. The only way to stay the best is to beat the rest of those who are close to being the best or possibly the best. Arizona is 26-2. They are right, same ranking. They are the West region favorite to come out of that. They host Kansas tomorrow, the Jayhawks. Y'all know how that goes down. Potential Final Four preview is predicted for that specific game. Michigan also 26-2. Like he said, neck and neck. They are the leaders of the deep Big Ten out there. They're currently on the court. Just finished their high-stakes road game against Illinois. You guys should have been wrapped up that game. UConn 26-3, just one game behind them. The defending champs are projected as the number one seed in the East, and they have to make sure if they're going to stay there that Duke does not be the ones to upset them, but they're looking to maintain their dominant tournament streak. Teams that are coming up on the rise, you got Wisconsin. See, this is what I'm saying. You always have these sneaky teams that nobody thinks about. They're a major riser this week, moving up to the number 7 seed after beating Illinois and Michigan State. And the last four in, currently right now, this includes Cali, UCLA, Miami, Florida, of course, and Santa Clara. The first four out, this is probably why he's not on this platform tonight, is Fern. The Ohio State is going to be one of the first four to get up out of there. Seton Hall, Virginia Tech, and San Diego State are also teams currently needing a deep conference tournament run to make this field. Danny, it doesn't matter. Who are your team? You must be boasting for UCLA. We never know who your team is. You come on and you make random comments, and we just can't see who you're following. The AP top 10 right now with the votes solidified as of today. With 56 first place votes, Duke is at number 1. Arizona is ranked in number 1 in the RPLs, and Michigan is leading the Big Ten, like we said. Iowa State had a huge win over Kevin Sampson, the alumni out of my school, University of North Carolina, Pembroke. His Houston squad recently, they had that big win over them. They're now 24-4. And the elite defense also belongs to Houston, who are not too far behind, 23-5. Elite defense, currently top 5 in the NET. UConn, of course, projected to be the Eastern Region Conference people, and Florida right on their hem. Okay, Danny, I see a UCLA grad 84. Wow. All right, Gonzaga, let's not count them out. And Purdue. Purdue is ranked number 8 right now, 22-6. They dropped recently after a loss to the Ohio Slate. I don't even want to say state. And then Gonzaga is right behind them. They have the highest winning percentage in the D1 right now. Highest winning percentage in the D1 belongs to Gonzaga at 28-2. And then Illinois is the top 10 at 22-6, holding the number 3 Michigan. What?
So don't count out Gonzaga. Gonzaga, man, they playing pretty good. If it wasn't for the blemish that they had against Michigan,
that's what I was saying.
They would have been good, yeah.
Can't count them out. Can't count them out. Of course, we talked about women's teams. Yeah, women's teams right now, the top seeds. Of course, we congratulated South Carolina, followed by Texas. UConn ladies are back in there, the Lady Huskies. And UCLA, like Dana mentioned earlier, remain the consensus number 1 seeds. The Iowa factor is going to be the big thing from USC and UCLA have both secured major wins over Iowa recently, shaking up the top of the Big Ten, West Coast for the ladies, that is. And on the bubble, Arizona State is currently the first team out, per Charlie Cream from ESPN, needing a win against Texas Tech to stay in to secure their spot. The Big Ten is projected to be the dominant conference of all conferences, with 10 teams in the men's field representing. The ACC and the SEC are a close follow, with 9 projected teams in both. And the Big 12 has 7 teams, but 4 of them are projected as top 4 seeds, indicating the highest top-end strength. So, guys, I know I talked about a lot. As we get ready to wrap up the next probably 4 to 5 minutes here, what are your thoughts on the March Madness that is upon us? We had to definitely wrap all of that up.
Yes, he does. So he only perked up when he saw that. So, yeah.
He was looking away from the camera. That's why he looked like that. He was looking.
Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be.
So what are your thoughts, guys?
UConn is 29-0 for the women. As usual, UConn, they're just busting behind and taking names. South Carolina, that's my girl. I gotta go for my South Carolina girl. But anyway, yeah, they're in third. That's very. I noticed something this year in college sports, because we make a big deal about the NIL and they need to do certain things and stuff like that to regulate the NIL. And this is true. We still have those. We still have that process that needs to go on. But at the same time, some of these colleges, these college games and the college basketball and football are outstanding with all this. So you can't say that not paying the players didn't do you good. That's for sure.
What's up, little brother? Got my brother Marcus on. What's up, Marcus?
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
It's going to stop you kind of.
Yeah, B, you have a point there. But I don't see them being repeat winners. I'm going to be honest. I don't see them.
South Carolina?
The men. No, UConn. He put a comment up about UConn.
He's talking about the women.
Do you see them being? You guys see? Oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe.
Well, I was about to say it was Houston, right? Houston won. Houston won last year, right?
I thought it was it Houston? I thought it was wasn't it South Carolina?
No, Houston lost.
No, I
remember
for the men.
Whole big thing.
Oh, for the men's, yeah. No,
they lost.
Somebody. Yeah, because didn't Duke beat them?
They lost because.
No, Duke. They beat Duke.
No, they beat Duke.
And then they lost.
And then they got eliminated.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
I thought it was UConn.
No, UConn. I think UConn got put out early.
They did get put out. UConn won the previous year.
I know it wasn't. Yeah, I know it was. I know that
Danny
UC didn't
knows.
win
Danny,
because
Danny,
my
who,
whole,
who won the men's finals
I'm
last year?
pulling up
Danny.
my whole college. I'm pulling it up now. It went to Indianapolis, Duke, Michigan, Arizona were the final ones, and let's see. But my whole college was like pulling for Kevin Sampson. That's how I remember. Basically they lost. It's so funny how you can't remember from one year to the next when stuff goes on. Like it just be so much other stuff going on. All right, last year's winner was the Florida Gators.
Yes, that's who
Florida.
won. Yes, exactly.
That's the one. Yeah, Florida.
And you know what's crazy? I literally thought about them, then I was like, maybe not. Yep, Marcus got it too. Florida beat them 65-63. Yeah.
Come from behind win too, actually.
Florida.
I think that game was dominated by Houston in the beginning, and then Florida came back on them.
And UConn.
But those of you that are college basketball fans out there, I'm not that significantly a college basketball fan, so I have to apologize for.
And that's why I love Duke. That's why I love Duke.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're getting ready to go ahead and wrap this thing up here. Of course, this show will re-air. B has a whole new slate of shows. He showed you guys the ad. I can't even get my words out, so that you'll know when to check us out. But in the morning at 8 a.m., it's going to be B James with Jack Hirsch for the debate show. Sunday morning kicks off the Sunday morning sports show, and at 8 a.m. And with that, make sure you stay tuned for great shows throughout. We appreciate all the likes, love, and thank you to Pink Fan Fur for promos behind the scenes as well. And with that, we bid everyone a great final finale of February 2026. See you guys soon.
Peace.
Bye.